All right. Well, anyway, welcome again. Welcome to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. We're back. And you're back for some weird reason.
Don't sound so excited.
You are like gluttons for punishment if you're listening to this. This is like a suicide note type of thing. If you're listening to this, something terribly wrong has happened. And you came back. So
it's like the cat. It comes back, just keeps coming back.
No, we do appreciate our listeners, and I don't know why you listen to us. I don't know why we do this, but we do.
Because we have fun and they love us.
Well, we do have fun. I can't know if they love us or not. If you love us, go ahead and send us a like on Facebook, Instagram, or wherever.
Leave us a review on
wherever
Apple.
podcasts are sold.
Leave us reviews. Give us some ratings.
Yeah, we haven't had any reviews for long, but only if they're positive reviews. I have a very low self-esteem, and if you were to say something negative, it might be hurtful. And like George McFly, I just don't think I can handle that kind of rejection. That being said, anything wild and crazy happened this week?
Not just work.
No, just work.
Just busy.
Our car broke down.
Anything paranormal happen?
No.
No. Man. We're a boring podcast.
It's a good thing we don't do current events because we would be hosed.
Oh,
Right?
we could. It would just take more time and effort. And that's one thing we don't believe in is effort. Just kidding. If you saw the pages of notes we have that we're not going to get into this week with this episode, you'd be impressed. So what are we going to talk about today, Josh?
Well, before we get there, let's figure out who we got around the table.
Let's figure it out because we're not sure.
We're not sure.
We're missing somebody.
And if this
We
is
are.
your first time listening to us, then you don't recognize voices. If it's not your first time, you've probably figured that out.
But we are missing Elisa.
Yeah. She had a family event, so she couldn't be here.
Yeah. Kids and birthdays.
I guess you could call it
It's
that.
not birthday.
Oh, no, it's not. It's something else.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called.
Either way, we
But-
miss her.
We do.
We always miss her.
But we got Josh here.
Yep. And Jamie.
And Terry.
And Lord Mike, the Lord, bless you all.
But today we're going to talk about paranormal myths.
Yeah, but explain what you mean by that, though, because that
The
could
whole-
kind of mean two different.
Yeah, the whole paranormal is a myth, dude. It's all fake.
Wait, that's one of them, actually.
I know, right?
No, so paranormal myths are things that, or misconceptions or things that people believe that about the paranormal that just aren't true.
Absolutely.
Or maybe they are true.
It's all true.
Or all false.
Oh, now we're getting confusing. Let's
I'm
sort it
lost.
out. We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
If I say it's true, it's true. I'm a mom.
So,
But so is she. So then what if you guys disagree?
I don't think we would.
All moms agree.
Oh, geez.
either way, well, I'm screwed.
Yeah, we're host.
It's
Yeah.
the female code. We got to have each other's back.
Darn tootin'.
Hello, I am Lord Mike, and I'm wrong.
So glad that's on record.
Just
I'll
saying
never let
it
you
now.
forget that.
Oh, you don't
Set it
ever
as your
anyway.
ringtone.
Yeah, go write it in your journal.
I don't keep a journal. It would just say entry number 387. I am wrong.
Same as all before.
Entry 580. Today's a Thursday, and I am wrong. I would just be wrong.
So let's get started.
Anyways,
So
Yeah, let's get started off
There-
with going through some of these.
there's a ton
There
of these.
are.
In fact, so in my research, I came up with like a list of like 32 or something,
Wow.
which we're probably not going to get through all those, but we'll get
Definitely
through some
not.
of the. We'll go through the ones that we'll see what we get through. So go ahead, fight away, Josh.
All right, so I think the first one is, kind of like on everyone's list of things that are misbeliefs about the paranormal, and that's like ghosts come out only at night.
Fact.
False.
That's a myth.
What, you
Yeah.
disagree with it? It's a fact. Everyone knows this.
That's why it's a myth.
Why do we go ghost hunting at night then, Josh?
Well, we go because it's less busy for one.
Things are more
Things are more
calm
quiet.
and quiet. Yep.
Yeah. But-
well, it's also just like being in the dark. You know how like when you lose one sense, other senses are
Yep.
heightened.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so being in the dark and kind of just losing your sight, your hearing kicks in.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. It's like a
that
sensory
helps
deprivation.
with your investigation.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, most times we go ghost hunting at night because most of these places are occupied during the day.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to wait for people to go out.
It's weird to explain to your customers what the weird paranormal people are doing walking around the building, talking to themselves.
Yeah, could you imagine going through like Smith's grocery store and like sitting with a K2 digital recorder, sitting in the frozen food section?
Can you knock on the glass 3 times if you're here? Some customer goes over, is like, all right, now get out of the way. You're blocking.
Can I get my ice cream?
You're blocking
please?
the ice cream I want there. Yeah,
But I mean, I've seen
we
stuff
should investigate a grocery store.
that would be fun.
That's quite an undertaking, though,
Yeah, it would be.
to be able to even get in.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Only if the marshmallows come to life.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
that's fake.
That was at,
It was
that,
fake, Terry.
That was at a Walmart, though.
And it was Walmart.
Yeah. But you've seen a ghost in the daylight, though.
Do tell.
No, I said you have.
I know. Do tell.
I'm not telling your story.
Jog my memory because I don't know what.
Vacuuming.
Oh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So my job, so I clean for a gym and just a little gym. And I was vacuuming and I was kind of like going backwards because I was vacuuming the turf that was there next to the track. And I'm just going backwards and I got earbuds in my ears. So, the only thing I can really hear remotely is the vacuum through my music. And I took out I always leave like one of the earbuds out and have one in, but I'm going backwards and all of a sudden I hear, look out, look out, look out. And I look and it looks like a guy. I mean, I thought it was an actual person because they're dressed in they almost look like they were from the 80s, those little short jogging shorts.
Oh, yeah.
It had the little sweatband around his head, and a tank top. And he ran by on the track. But as he passed me and got a few feet ahead of me, he faded out. I was so excited. I called Josh and I was freaking out on the phone. So, yeah, I was there all by myself in the building.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, there's a reason for that, though. I think a lot of times places are more active during the day. Even like spirits, they were more active in places during the day. I mean,
Yeah.
if it's a residual type of a thing where there was a spirit that just kind of walked or the person will walk the same hallway several times a day for years and years, that's going to happen during the day, right?
Yeah.
You hear about hauntings where 5:00 at night, the door opens and the ghost old man comes in and goes to the kitchen and, just, I don't know.
Makes a cup of tea.
Yeah.
The
And
one thing
so
that happened to you was during the middle of the day.
I've never had anything happen to me.
What happened in our
Just
house? Oh my
kidding.
gosh.
I know. I'm just kidding. Well, okay. So there are some reasons. So there is things do happen during the day because ghosts are around us 24 hours, right? But the world, as Josh said, the world quiets down and things, outside noises fade away. So it's much easier to investigate then. Some locations only let you, enter after they've closed, which is the majority of the reason why we ghost hunt at night.
Yeah.
It's much creepier at night, which does add to a fun factor to it, honestly.
Well, it does. That the piece of machinery in the corner looks way more menacing in the dark and shadow than it does in the daylight.
Oh yeah, and it's much more important to know what you're looking at than go, wow, there's a shadow figure over there. It's like, dude, it's a coat rack.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing though is all of the toys that we have work so much better at night because you turn the lights off and they all light up and flash. And
Yeah.
so much more brilliant. Another thing that I'd to think about with the daytime versus the nighttime, ghosts need energy to manifest. To do anything, it takes a lot of energy, and they can get that energy during the day. But if you think of lightning, right? Lightning during the day, pretty cool. You still hear the thunder, you still get the rumble. You'll still see the flash. But lightning in the dark is so much more brilliant,
Yeah.
and so much more noticeable, and so much more. I don't know. It makes such a bigger impression on you. You notice it a lot easier.
Well, it's
And
like fireworks, right? Fireworks in the daytime. Ooh. Fireworks at night. Ah.
fireworks anytime. My ring the doorbell community.
Did you hear that
Hear the
gunshots?
gunshots?
Oh my gosh.
If you have I don't care where you are. If you have a ring doorbell, I guarantee you get those same messages in the community board.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's another one you guys got?
Ghosts like to hang out. They only hang out in the cemeteries.
Yeah,
That's
people
a good
always
one.
say, I'm going to go visit the graveside, thinking that
Yeah.
they're going to go visit their loved one, thinking that their loved one is just going to be there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can guarantee you that my grandma does not hang out at her graveyard all day long.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Who would want to?
Hey, I was going to say,
Right?
if you're like my dad, a social butterfly, My dad would love it because he would just be over visiting anybody else that's out there, and they would just be chatting up a storm.
Yeah, but that's only under the conception that they're all hanging out there together.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't doubt there's spirits in a graveyard, and I don't doubt that the graveyards are haunted.
Right.
But I'm not going to say every time you go to your family loved ones'
They're gonna be there.
headstones that they're going to be there waiting to
not
talk
like-
to you.
Right.
Exactly.
It's not like when you go to visit grandma and she opens the screen doors like, "Oh, I'm so glad you came to see me," and or when grandpa's standing there in his underwear opening the door. It's not always like that kind of a visit. But it doesn't mean that they can't be there.
Mhm.
And part of me wonders if maybe there is some sort of, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some sort of paranormal supernatural paging system that they all of a sudden know when
That
you're
you're
there.
there.
That you're
And they
there.
can go beam,
Yeah.
speed of thought, whatever, and appear there and go, "Hey."
Absolutely.
Thanks for visiting me.
But they'll come visit. The thing
Right.
is you can visit them everywhere. I think that's my biggest point with it is you don't have to go to the cemetery every time
No.
you want
Right.
to talk to your deceased loved one.
Yeah, because like another myth that goes hand in hand with that is that people stay where they die.
Right. Yeah, it's a very similar.
Mhm.
Or where they're
basically,
buried.
Basically,
Yeah.
like they follow their body.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Mhm.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the same thing, right? It's like just because you died in the hospital doesn't mean that's where you're eternally stuck.
Yeah, or like you
That'd
died in the
suck.
house, so you can never leave the house. Or
Right.
yeah,
Which is actually the premise of the TV show Ghosts, is they
Right.
can't leave because that's where they died.
Yeah.
Right.
If you guys have never seen this show, we are all major fans.
it's a new show that just came out. Is that
I
on?
think it's on ABC, isn't it?
It's on 5. I don't know if it's on NBC, CBS. I don't know where.
I don't know, we
it's
watch
at.
it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah, you can watch it on Paramount Plus.
It's on a station,
Yeah.
It's on 2, 4, or 5. That's all I know.
but it's called Ghosts.
But it's on Paramount Plus too.
And the premise of it, like Terry said, is that they are all stuck in this house because they all died
They all
there on this property.
Died on the land.
So they can't leave the gate.
There's like a barrier, and it actually shows like where the ghosts try to. He's in a car trying to drive off the property, and like
You get,
flies out of the car.
yeah, you get stuck right there.
Not
them
allowed
back
to go
to the
past
property.
it.
So-
but that is not true.
That's not true. Ghosts have choice. They have agency. They have freedom to choose. Now that doesn't mean they may not choose to stay there. If it was something that they liked, a place they liked,
Mm-hmm.
or if it was a place that something traumatic happened, and they want to keep living that,
Yeah.
they can feel stuck there, but there's really nothing holding them there other than themselves.
Right.
That's
Yeah.
what I tell them all the time. It's like, you are not stuck here. You are holding yourself back. You can achieve so much if you only put your mind to it.
Give them a pep talk.
I
Give 'em a
do.
talk.
That's
I do.
right.
And then they stop talking to me.
What about you, Jamie? What do you got?
Let's see. Only old buildings are haunted.
Fact.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
that's a pretty big misconception, right?
It is. It is.
And that's because, what do we see though? Like we see, like if you watch some of the ghost shows and stuff like that, right? Most every place that they've gone to is an old building.
Yeah.
You know.
That's very true.
So, but I mean, most of the old places have a huge history associated to them. So if I go into a building that was built in the 1800s and we got, 100 some years of experience,
Sure.
but
Well, a good example is when we moved to the lake house.
yeah,
We moved in the day that building got finished. Nobody else had resided there before us.
nothing on the land. It was
Nothing
a
on the
side
land,
of a hill.
yeah. So we were the first ones in and living in that building and everything. And we had a couple spirits there.
Yeah. We had a 9-year-old boy that came and visited,
Mm-hmm.
which also visited during the day. Quite a bit.
Strangely enough, yeah.
See, then also people have the whole myth that new places can't be haunted.
Exactly.
Well, yeah, it's the
Yeah,
same.
that's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, right? It's because they're like, well, it's brand new. There can't be a ghost there. It's like,
There's the land that it's built on.
That's
yeah,
right.
well, exactly. But it also goes back into the piece that we just talked about, right? Ghosts being transient, spirits being transient.
Yep.
So if they move in and you bring in like a dog or a cat or maybe a kid, and they're like, hey, I like your animals, or I
like your family.
I like your family or your energy. I'm gonna go hang out with you guys.
Yeah.
And for all you know, you could have a portal somewhere on the land that you didn't know existed.
Right.
Yeah.
And that just opens up a whole doorway of stuff.
Yeah. That brings in all sorts of other fun and awful things in the same token.
I mean, there's a ghost at where I work. His name is Henry, and he's kind of a stinker. He's a jerk. But he was there long before the developers ever cleared the land to build the building I work in,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's fun. I think the old buildings or the creepy old things is a construct from Hollywood.
Yeah.
because it impresses on your mind, and you look at it, you're like, okay, it's old, it's decaying, it's decrepit, and that's what we associate death with, and spirits and ghosts is with scary death,
Yeah.
worn down, and so I think it automatically just looks uncomfortable, and so you just, I don't know, you just feel it more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you're in an old building, right? Let's take, I don't know, an old, Waverly, for example. I know you guys haven't been there, but I mean, it's a creepy old looking building, pretty dilapidated, and now you're in there in the dark. The sensory factor alone of being in a old, decrepit building in the dark,
weird.
and there's that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you get just like, oh, that's creepy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only movie I can think of where like the haunting stuff and the scary stuff takes place in a new and modern, and I'm sure there's a lot more that I just can't think of. Was it The Exorcism of Hannah Grace?
Emily Rose.
So it was the big.
It was in the hospital?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it wasn't The Exorcism of Emily Rose. It was a different one.
I think it's like Hannah Grace, but it was one of the Possession of Hannah Grace.
No, I think that's what it is.
That's what I think it is. But it's like it's such high tech that like all the lights are on a sensor thing, and so you walk down and then like the lights turn on and they turn off behind you as you go.
The Possession of Hannah Grace. If you haven't seen that, it's a good one.
No, I
Creepy.
haven't seen it.
It's creepy, and a lot of what happens in the film kind of goes along with what we believe as far as hauntings and possessions and stuff like that. And
Oh, that's cool.
it takes place kind of in the morgue of a hospital.
Oh.
Well, that's creepy in itself.
Yeah, and like Mike was saying, how
Yes, it is.
how like this morgue had motion lights, so because trying to save on power,
Right.
then so she'd be sitting in the office, and then all of a sudden you'd see the lights come on down the hallway. So we're like, what's moving and why are the lights turning on?
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
would freak me out, actually.
Yeah, so it's a good one to go watch. But it
Yeah.
came out.
But
It
modern
came out in 2016, so it's a fairly new one.
Fairly new one. Well, even Paranormal Activity, right? The first one. I
Yeah.
haven't seen any of the other ones, but that was a fairly modern building at the time.
That was a
Modern
fairly
house.
new house. That
Yeah.
it wasn't too. Yeah,
Yeah, but that happened because the dude was a dork and started playing with a Ouija board.
no,
No,
no. Not,
That was her stuff. That was
actually, no, they
her.
came
that
back
was
yesterday.
that was the witch coven.
Okay, but it came in with her though.
Yeah.
it wasn't.
It came with her. It was attached to her because they found the picture in the attic
Yeah,
from their childhood.
Like a Polaroid or something.
Yeah.
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 I don't know. That movie was not what it was cracked up to be, but
Well, okay, but think about this. If that had happened in your home, those events had happened to you, would that not be frightening?
oh yeah, no, I would have been leaving the house.
Right.
So, but no, I'm just talking about from the movie, from a movie standpoint, right? It was pretty boring.
yeah.
So it was creepy. Like, I don't know if you guys, I mean, we're going off a little bit on a tangent, but if you saw all the previews for it, right, there's all these, they show the people watching in the theater and they all jump and you're like, oh, it's the big jump scare type of movie. And there's nothing until the very end.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the movie that was made back in 2000 something,
Wait, which movie?
Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity.
It just jumps all over through that
Okay,
stupid thing.
a lot of the Paranormal Activity didn't start until almost halfway through the show.
Yeah.
though.
Yeah.
So
it was very
there was a
late.
lot of
mild.
It's the slow creep.
with the found footage stuff like that. You're like,
It creeped me out.
it's like watching home videos for like the first half of it. So
Yeah.
you're like, this is kind of boring. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, oh, look, she's standing in the corner again.
That's scary.
It's
Just
weird.
Standing watching.
That's
sleep.
creepy.
it's,
That is creepy.
it's creepy, but it's not like, I don't know. It's not what the people made it out to be. But
I guess just one thought with that. When you go to like an old hotel, okay,
Oh,
you
yeah.
look at it, and you think, man, this place is probably haunted. How many people have died here?
In this
You know,
bed.
you think of those type of things.
I
But
don't.
nobody comes to donate blood where I work and thinks about, I wonder if this place is haunted. Right?
Well, yeah. Well,
it is.
That's true. But that's because you're looking, you think of places that people die, right?
Well, nobody's died there giving blood.
Right, exactly. But but when you think of hauntings, right, you think of where have you died? Where have people died? And that's blood centers are not the one you think of like people
No.
of dying.
But even you walk into a grocery store and you don't think about, I wonder how many people have died here. It just, the building doesn't lend that kind of a thought process.
Right.
But you go to an old building, old hospitals, old prisons,
Well, the older the building, the more stories there is to it.
and that's a
More
great point.
history.
Which can
Yeah.
also, the history, the residual energy that could still be in there, whether anything tragic happened there or not, because, that's another myth.
Oh, that's
on
another
here,
myth, yeah.
Is like something tragic has to happen for it to be haunted,
Right.
which is doesn't you don't
False.
need that either.
Yeah.
I mean,
No.
there's residual hauntings of just people going up and down the stairs.
Right.
That's what they did every
'Cause
day.
that's
what
for
they
how
did
many
every day.
years.
And that's tragic.
Going to
That's
work
all they
every
did.
day is tragic.
It is. Story of my life.
You know, and so it's like you don't have to have these massive tragic events for a
it
place to be haunted.
Yeah.
Well, but so then that leads to the question then, if you don't need to match, I mean, obviously we know of hauntings of tragic events, right? Death
that's-
and whatnot. But
that's-
what does it take then? What does it take for a building to become haunted?
Existing.
Yeah,
Right.
really. Because, I mean, anything can follow you home. We've all had that
Yeah.
happen.
Well,
all
right.
of us has had something follow us home.
Right. But I'm saying from aside from that aspect of it, right? Like even
Strong
the
emotion?
strong emotion, like something like the repetitiveness or like those things, right? I mean, aside from the stuff following you home, because nobody wants that.
Yeah, no. But probably one of the reasons why this is a myth is because all of the TV shows, all the movies, everything always has something tragic that created these spirits to exist. And that's why we're here to investigate this building, is because this tragic event happened 10 years ago or
Right.
20 years ago. And so people have created this myth that something tragic has to happen for it to be haunted.
Yeah.
Right.
So there's a lot of people that are like, oh, my house can never be haunted. Every house is haunted.
At least one. There's at least one spirit hanging out.
There's
in the
at
houses.
least one there that you probably will never know, and it's probably a loved one that's just there. Just,
And if you didn't think there was, I'm going to tell you right in your house where it's at. It's in the bathroom and it watches you poop.
and it rates you.
you know,
It does. It rates you. It judges you.
because yeah, you're gonna have some kind of a family member, somebody there that's just watching.
Yeah.
That's your, your spirit
Yeah.
guide, your guardian angel, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. There'll be at least one person, right?
Josh, you cracked me.
What'd you say?
It says it rates you.
It rates you.
It rates you.
So you're sitting there in the bathroom. You're just like weak.
Seen better.
Oh, I
They have little scorecards.
No, I gotta sew
you
my
just
ass
can't
shut.
see.
You probably could have wiped one more time there. Just
Probably
saying.
should have.
Probably should have.
You missed a spot. No thanks. The thought of that makes me want to sew my ass shut.
If
so
you're,
I don't ever have
if you're
to
listening to this while you're
Just
on the
super
pot,
glue
raise
it.
your
It's fine.
hand. Send us a story. That's where you feel those cold spots because there's less carpet. There's no carpet. There's seats cold. I don't know. What's another one you got there, Josh?
I got one that is America's paranormal fascination is new.
Hell yeah.
False.
Well, it depends on what you're talking about as far as America's new.
Well,
America is new.
well, right, but just talk, if you think about like America since 1776,
That's
right?
the only.
Yeah.
That's the only validation I can give to that.
So-
Yeah, I mean, because we are actually a very young country compared to a lot of other countries.
Well, right,
Absolutely.
exactly.
But
yeah, but the ghosts were
but-
here before we were a country.
But they were.
But how new are we talking though?
No, but so people are, I mean, it's really more so that the whole process is because of all these TV shows that have come out in the last 20,
Now
30
it's
years, right?
new.
It's really shining this brand new spotlight
Yeah.
on the paranormal where it's like, this is so cool.
Well, even if you look like the movie franchises, like because you had like all the haunted, you had the mass killers, and you had, but then the paranormal shows didn't really start coming in until the 90s,
Right,
the late
exactly.
90s. Before that, you had like Jason, and you had Freddy, and you had like those
Late
kind-
80s.
Yeah, you had all those kind of slasher movies, but there was really nothing paranormal back then.
No, and really, like, I think the first show that I'm aware of on TV was Ghost Hunters.
Everybody talks about like
Yeah.
Ghost Hunters are what made me do this. So I did this because of Ghost Hunters. I
Right.
did
Right.
this because of
Right, exactly. And they kind of like kicked off the show world, like I think Sci-Fi and Travel Channel and
Yeah.
Destination America and Discovery Channel. Like all of these networks have multiple shows,
Mhm.
and so it seems like it's a much newer fascination than
Yeah.
it really was.
But
Well,
no,
yeah.
they've been doing seances and look at
Mary Todd Lincoln.
Mary Todd Lincoln,
Yeah, or even Mary Winchester.
yeah,
Or
They-
Mary Shelley. We talked about that on the
What is
Frankenstein.
with all the Marys?
right. Or think about the Salem witch trials.
They like to make
Yep.
merry.
Right? I mean, so we've maybe not so much hugely fascinated by these things, but but when the spiritualist movement really hit the U.S., that's
Yes.
when that stuff really
Oh, yeah.
started.
And that's like late 1800s was when that big spike hit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's still, I mean, we were only, 30, 40 years old.
I wasn't even born yet. I'm
in
40.
the country.
Oh, okay. So I'm only 46 now, dude. 5.
But yeah, I mean,
I don't know. How old am I?
I have no idea.
Once you hit 40, you just don't count
Yeah,
anymore.
the numbers don't count. You start going backwards. But there was, I mean, also though, before them, I mean, we've talked about the Warrens. I mean, they were really some of the first paranormal investigators.
They're the ones
modern.
that kind of
They're the trailblazers.
They're the trailblazers,
Yeah.
honestly. Yeah.
Ghosts aren't anything new. I mean, they're mentioned in the Bible.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I mean, they're around, right? It's just, we just think because of the Hollywood. Thank you, thank you, thank you, California.
It's because Hanna-Barbera stopped making good cartoons, and so we were looking for something else,
and we found reality TV.
and we found it.
What do you
Okay,
guys?
but now going on that same thought, okay, so right, another myth is you can only learn to ghost hunt from watching Jason and Grant on Ghost Hunters. Or Zach Baggins, you know?
All you need to know, you learned on Ghost
Everything
Hunters.
you need to know, you
Or
learned from the
Ghost
TV
Adventures.
show.
I would say, please don't do what they do on TV.
Oh my
some of the stuff they
gosh.
do, please do not. Do
Yeah.
not challenge them. Do not.
Okay, now that being said, there are a lot of shows out there, and not to rate all the shows, but if you are going to emulate some of the ghost hunters that you see on TV, I think the ghost hunters folks are actually probably the ones
You would want to.
to
Yeah.
act like, not to necessarily investigate, but just they're very professional in the way that they investigate.
Absolutely.
Right. So are
Yeah.
kindred spirits too.
Yeah.
So, but you have your good examples, you have your bad examples.
Mm-hmm.
But the one thing that people don't ever think about is like they send off, Aaron
By himself.
by
Lock him
himself,
in
but
a
he's
room.
not.
He's not, because he has
Nah.
a cameraman.
and
yeah.
there's a producer and there's other people
Yeah.
there, and so like, and that's the thing is like, they send off these people by themselves, but they're never alone because there's a camera dude there, there's a sound dude.
Yeah, see, where we would never go alone.
Right.
Because we would literally be alone.
You're asking
Exactly.
for problems.
Exactly. And so that's like that's the thing is like don't always emulate the things you see on TV because they have crews of people with them
Yeah.
making sure that they stay
Yeah.
safe.
And then the one thing to remember is this is a TV show and they have to create content that makes you want to tune in to watch
And keep coming back.
Exactly.
and to keep coming back.
Yeah.
So
Ratings.
it's not 100% true, people.
No.
That's right.
No, and some of the stuff they do is a little dangerous.
Yep.
So
Well, that's only some of the shows. That's not all of them.
that's
yeah.
true, but it's trying to be smart.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, how about, let's see, all spirits are ghosts or demons?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll say this, like I had
No.
that growing up, I had that same misconception because of what I was taught from church and family and stuff like that, that they're all demons, they're all evil. And then, if that doesn't terrify they ever live in snot audio.
Yeah. I mean, we just did our episode on demons. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
so not all spirits are demons.
No.
Right. Some of them is just grandma coming to say hi.
Yep.
You know what I loved is I was scrolling through all my vast pages of notes here on it, and I stopped right before you said that all ghosts are evil.
Ah,
It's like boom. It's like
read
Right
my
there.
mind.
Perfect.
Yeah.
yeah, no, there are good ghosts and there are evil ghosts. That's totally it's true. I mean, but if you're a good person, when you die, is your spirit just gonna become evil?
No.
No, you as in life, so in
As
death.
in life,
right.
as in death.
So it's a distorted fact that's propagated by fear in some religions and
Hollywood.
in Hollywood, yeah.
Damn Hollywood.
I mean, but at the same time, most religions are going to tell you don't go seeking after the dead, and that's probably not unfounded.
That's
probably
on the
not.
table.
It's probably wise.
Well, and I think it is in the sense too, because what we do, it can be potentially dangerous in itself, right? Just one, because you're walking around in the dark, but we don't always know 100% who we're talking to.
No.
Exactly.
And so that ends itself in a little bit of risk involved.
There's no way possible to prove that spirit that we're communicating with, because luckily we got one to actually communicate with us, but there's no way to prove that it's like
Who
the
they
little
say
girl.
they are, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But
You
isn't
don't
it about
know.
a tent too, though? When you go
Yeah.
out and you do this, like, I mean, yeah, don't it's not recommended to go seek things out, but isn't it all about kind of intent?
Yeah,
Yeah, if you want to find that bad stuff, you're gonna find it.
it's out there.
It's out there.
Yeah, and if your intent's to find it, they will find you.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, in the same token, like because people think of this, they have this misconception, right? Stuff starts moving in their house, right?
It's
They see
automatically
something in their house, and then now they're automatically fearful because they think it's evil.
evil.
But once they find out it's grandma or Uncle Joe coming to say hi and just kind of check on them,
Mhm.
it's like, oh, that's not scary.
But that's exactly
it's
what we
like-
had happen in our house. One night in the middle of the night, the wind chime in our closet where there's no air movement starts making noise. And we're like, did you hear that? And Mike's like, yeah, I heard that. I'm like, why is the wind chime moving? It was my, fourth great grandma just letting us know she was there.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of Terry's spirit guys we didn't know about.
Yeah, we didn't know that because we knew about my great great grandma, but we didn't know about my fourth great grandma. And she just wanted us to know that
She's
she
here.
was there.
Sarah, there's an open mic over here. Come say hello.
Sarah. So, yeah, it's just,
Yeah, and it's not scary once you know, right?
yeah.
Well, and that's a great point with the paranormal and anything in life, honestly. We fear what we don't understand.
It's
We
the fear of the unknown.
Fear of the
Yeah.
unknown.
I've mentioned it before. I don't know if it was on this podcast or wherever, but there's a line from Bella Wood, right? Garth Brooks' song.
Yeah,
And
you
the
mentioned
very
it.
last line is, "Heaven isn't far away. It's just beyond the fear."
Hmm.
And I think and I'm trying to get my daughter to learn this fact that she's going to a dance next week and she's just scared
She's
because
so
she has
scared.
no idea what they're going to talk about. It's like the same thing that you guys text about all day.
She's scared
You
of
just don't have, you
to
just
slow
have to
down.
actually speak. But
Talking is scary, though.
but she'll find if she just tries it.
Well, the thing is you don't have to always talk either. There is
Nah.
comfort in silence.
Well, yeah, right. Like that's a
It's
challenge,
awkward in
though.
silence.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
to
what
be
I would
comfortable in the
think.
quiet?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, on a
Awkward.
first date, yeah.
What's that?
It's a date. It was awkward. When you and I first met face to face, it was awkward.
Oh, it was so
It
awkward,
was so awkward.
and that didn't help either.
You did not help. You just pounced.
Was
What
Josh
the
awkward?
heck?
Oh yeah. Oh, we were.
We
Let's see.
barely-
Within 5 minutes of seeing each other, I gave her a kiss for the first time.
Yeah,
Whoa.
barely got in the car.
Yeah.
And he just leans over and lays one on me. I didn't even see it coming.
You are a fast mover,
you-
man.
It was awkward.
And did you kiss him back?
I was just kind of stunned. It was awkward.
Yeah.
Did,
it was.
did you call the police?
No.
No, she took me home.
I was picking you up at the airport.
did
I know.
more happen?
Yeah,
On this
I feel
first
like,
Well,
date?
we will not talk about
I feel
that.
like there's
did
more to
not.
this story.
As far as
Wow.
first dates
No.
go, nothing else happened.
We've
No,
been friends
that-
with you guys for how long? And I'm just hearing this.
No, we got a whole story we can tell you.
Okay, we'll have to talk about this when we're not recording because
Yeah.
this is not what our
not
topic right
paranormal.
now.
So-
Could be a myth, though. He's like, yeah, not really. We
Yeah.
didn't kiss for like 3 months.
It was a myth. Totally a myth. Another one that's that people think that paranormal's bad for business.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
that's
awful.
another
No,
one.
it's good for business.
It can be great for business.
It is
depending-
these days.
Depending on the business, it could be really
No,
good
I
for
don't-
business.
Yeah.
Okay, like if it's like a preschool, maybe not good for business, but
Well,
Where
probably
else?
not.
where else is it bad for business? The world is so full of freaks who are all into this stuff,
Yeah,
like
but
us.
like at the Stanley Hotel, didn't they for a while? They were like, yeah, let's do investigations and stuff. And then they shut it down and they were like, no, we don't have ghosts here. Like the employees were instructed to say no.
For almost
it's
a
not
decade.
haunted. And they were
Yeah,
back
well,
and
because
forth.
if you've got people that are coming in and then paranormal things are happening and they're running out the door wanting a refund because I can't sleep here.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's not
No.
good for business
No.
because
No.
you're not making money.
And if you promote it as haunted, then people aren't, people that are scared of those things, the unknown, are
They're
going to
not
show
going
up.
to come out. They're not going to come.
Yeah.
You're going to
so I
lose
think it
business.
used to be that way.
It's a certain niche.
It went back and
It-
forth.
But
it isn't-
it's gone. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. It's been niche. I mean, there are things that are niche, but what you're finding is more people are embracing it. But
Yeah.
there are some places that aren't, that have rolled back. Eastern State Penitentiary is one of them.
Uh-huh.
They've stopped allowing ghost hunts.
Yeah.
They're like, we're going to be a wedding venue.
Really?
Serious.
Yeah.
Well, see,
Can
and
you
hasn't
imagine?
Alcatraz done the same thing too? They've kind of scaled back a little bit on their haunting stuff. I know they do
They
and
do stuff, but
they
yeah.
know they do like night tours and stuff.
Yep.
They don't do like investigations and stuff. They're like,
You still can if you want to pay the money.
yeah.
It's not cheap.
$1,000 an
Like,
hour.
I'm going to just point out that's a state park.
Alcatraz?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
And Eastern State Penitentiary is probably a state park.
No, it's privately
No,
owned.
is it privately owned?
It's privately owned.
Dude, if you put paranormal or haunted in front of anything, it's like, buy my new ice cream brand. It's haunted ice cream. Dude, that stuff's going to fly off the shelves anymore.
Yeah. I mean,
It's a haunted barbershop. They'll be lined up out the door and they will pay you buttloads.
there will be people that don't want anything to do with it, but for most people now, there's some fascination with it, right? It's like,
The unknown.
what if something does happen? What that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
We're just all creepers now.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it goes back to in the last 20 years, it's on TV. It's all around us.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it's now more commonplace. It's more accepted, and it's more celebrated.
Yeah. I don't know if there's going to be a swing in the other direction now.
no. I think
Oh,
it's gone
no.
so far one way that it's not going to go back.
It's just not going to go.
Mm-mm.
I don't think that's a bad thing. I think there should be some celebration of it. But, obviously, let's not get to the point where you get to like the Moss Beach distillery where you start putting in fake stuff
Rigging things
Yep.
to make
Yeah.
it seem haunted.
because that just robs people. I mean,
Yeah.
that just takes things away, which becomes a challenge in itself.
Yeah.
What do you guys got?
Pick one, Jerry.
Ghost stories are worthless and you need your own proof.
True.
No, it's not true. Though. right,
Oh my
so-
gosh, you know how many times people like want to sit around at the table and tell everybody's ghost stories?
Oh, yeah.
Everybody tells everybody else's ghost
Oh,
stories.
yeah.
And then it freaks everybody out. And then everybody has a ghost story to tell, whether it's their own or
When they've heard.
an aunt or when they
Yeah.
heard from a friend or
Yep.
Well, the thing is, eyewitness accounts are essential to investigations. When you go to, you see it on the ghost hunter shows, but we do it on
Yeah.
our own. We go somewhere and we find out that somebody has reported seeing the famous woman in white, right? There's always a woman in
there's
white.
a woman in white at every
You know,
location.
Or someone has seen, a young boy, just running through the halls of this building.
Yeah.
And so you go looking for this young boy.
Yeah.
Otherwise you go somewhere and you just sit down and go, is there any ghosts? Are there any ghosts here?
But, yeah. And that's true.
So-
Like, it helps.
Those stories, those anecdotal evidence, that's just as important in your investigations as
Yeah.
what you physically see.
Right. Because some of those stories are true. Right. But some of them are also been fictionalized so much or whatnot. So people, they always go with it, because it's what they've heard. Right. They're like, oh, yeah, we've heard about this woman in white. Right. And her name is, Sue.
So that's gotta be Mary.
Yeah, I was going to say Mary, actually. But, then you go in and do the investigation, and there you find out, no, there's not a woman in white ever in this building. Or her name is not Mary, but it is Beth, or something like that.
Or
Gizmo.
but people are saying there's people report feeling a cold, big temperature fluctuations in this room. Well, you might never even go in that room if nobody told you about.
Right.
And then you go in and then you find out that it's not paranormal. You can go debunk that.
Yeah, it's the bad window or the air conditioning vent or whatnot. But back to Terry's point, like I remember sitting around Fort Chaffee, Arkansas, and we were sitting there in the dark one night, and there's about 8 of us, and that's exactly what we did. We just sat there and talked ghost stories.
Yep.
Something happened to them, and some of them was terrifying.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
But it's what we do, right?
Yeah.
So, and even to the Christmas episode where we talked about, the Christmas carols, the scary ghost stories. Like that was a very Victorian thing to do, is to sit around and just tell people spooky stories.
Oh my gosh. Or what about the book from the 90s? Ghost Stories to Tell in the Dark.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
yeah.
that
Like
book.
everybody. I mean, I grew up sitting out on a trampoline in the middle of summer reading stories from that book with my friends all the time to scare ourselves.
Right.
I mean, that's what we wanted to do.
I never learned how to read. I just had to make it all up.
And the movie just came out a couple years ago
Yeah.
and it resurged that whole book series. And, so it's something that I think people seek out because they want that adrenaline of the fear.
Yeah.
So,
We like to be, as
like
much
to
as
be
we,
scared.
yeah, I'll say as much as we don't want to admit it, we'd like to be scared.
yep.
in a controlled environment for the
Right.
most
Well,
part.
That's
In
why
a
haunted,
controlled-
spook alleys are such a big business.
Yeah, I just don't like those. They bore me. I don't like to be scared that way, right? Like
You don't like the jump scares.
I don't.
Yeah, I'm
I
the same
don't.
way. I don't like the jump scares.
My fight or flight response is not very good.
You're a fighter.
More of a fighter, not a much of a
Hit first.
fighter.
more of a screamer.
Yeah, more of a screamer. Jamie knows that from
A
personal
little bit of a
experience.
moaner on occasion.
Oh, we have a screamer.
It's when I sat down on the couch and I thought I sat on a cat.
He screamed like a woman. Well, last time at Benson Grist Mill,
Jamie's robot.
you went into that one building and the door wouldn't open, so he pushed a little harder, and when he opened it, someone jumped out and went rah, and he goes ee. So
Thank you, Shane from Bear River.
it was hilarious.
Yeah, it was.
It was hilarious.
But like the haunted houses and stuff like that, yeah, I'm not a fan.
I just don't like them
Yeah.
because I think all the teenagers that work there think that they're an actual monster, and it's like, dude, get out of my way.
I love them, but I have a husband that hates them, so I,
I don't
go
hate
anymore.
them.
I used to go like there were some times where I would go to like 2 or 3 of them in one night.
Oh,
I would just
dang.
go hopping.
Wow.
I loved them.
Avid
Loved them.
fan,
But this was
yeah.
also back when they were a lot cheaper to go to.
Yeah, not $40 a night, not $40 a
Right?
person.
See, I might enjoy it more if it was actually a really haunted attraction rather than
Right.
Yeah, but
dressed up teenagers.
with that being said, though, Fear Factory and Asylum 49 are both haunted houses who both
True.
happen to be
Occupied
Haunted.
by teenagers trying to scare you. It's just like,
and
And
occupied by a lot of ghosts.
Okay,
in the,
well,
I've never been to either one.
remove the
Oh.
teenagers. I've been to Fear.
You-
I've investigated
You've
Fear
done
Factory.
Fear Factory.
But I have
haven't
not
done
been
either.
to Fear Factory as a
Haunted-
as a fear
as a haunted
as a
attraction.
spook alley.
No, I haven't either.
I've only been there after hours, and that was fun. It was big.
It's a big place.
It was fun up until one point. Had a really actually frightening experience there, but we'll save that for another story. I was actually a little panicked.
Yeah. We don't need to talk about
we'll
that
talk
right
about
now.
that later. But
Now all of our listeners want to know your story.
we'll have to tune in for another
Yep,
episode.
they'll have to
That's
come back.
right.
Come back around.
So what about believers and skeptics can't get along? That's a myth. Unless you're a closed-minded skeptic or a closed-minded believer, that would make it tougher, wouldn't it?
but they still get along.
Aren't we?
Well, unless they adamantly disagree, like really, and they're closed-minded,
Right.
so nobody's going to be accepting.
Oh, come on. Democrats and Republicans
Oh,
can get
listen.
together and enjoy each other's company. Can't
No.
believers and
Without getting-
non-believers?
Paranormal is much easier
Depends
to
on the
agree
person.
Right?
Yeah.
I was thinking of BuzzFeed, though. BuzzFeed Supernatural, where you had a closed-minded skeptic and a closed-minded
This
believer.
is a really good example. If you watch BuzzFeed Supernatural with Ryan and Shane, Ryan is a closed-minded believer. Everything is paranormal. And Shane is a closed-minded skeptic. Nothing is paranormal.
So they do get along.
Where they talk
well,
about
they get along,
how
but they
effective
argue.
Congress is.
No,
They argue over everything.
over all the evidence.
Yeah.
The best investigators for the paranormal are what you would call an open-minded skeptic,
Right.
because or an open-minded believer is just being open-minded, because not everything is what you think it is,
Nope.
and you have to be willing to
Listen.
accept
Yeah.
other theories and things that you
And
didn't
being
know.
willing to debunk and not just jump straight to like, oh my gosh,
It's
No.
paranormal.
it's paranormal.
But there's things I totally believe in now that I at one point thought were complete crap.
Right.
Dowsing rods, for example.
Yeah.
Which is weird because they've
stones
been,
and crystals.
dowsing rods for centuries have been used to find water.
Yep.
Well, good thing I carry it in my backpack with me all the time,
Right.
because if I'm ever thirsty, they'll direct me to the fountain,
Right over my cup of water.
to the nearest
There it
Maverick
is.
where I can get myself
And
a
tunnels.
nice big.
But so will your GPS though.
Well, these days.
That's
Until
true.
the pulse. But when the big pulse happens, we're all back to dowsing rods.
Yep.
Your REM pod ain't gonna work. Another one I've got is that ghosts will haunt any haunted location. The ghosts are gonna haunt you there.
What does that
Right.
mean though?
So when you go into a place that's haunted,
Right.
the ghosts are just waiting for you to get there, and they're gonna jump out and scare you.
You're going to have
Oh, no.
contact.
You're going to have contact, and they are you come into their space, and they are now your problem.
Well, that would certainly be an issue once we've already considered that every house is haunted. So,
Well,
That would be an issue.
but just because you're out, hunting ghosts doesn't mean they're going to show themselves or even make
No.
themselves known.
Or that you're going to get anything.
Unless they look at you and go, I think I actually really do want to talk to this guy. And it goes along with another myth that I found on the interwebs that ghosts will haunt you if you ask them to. Again, real ghosts are going to choose who they want when they want. And if you're out looking for EVPs and you even ask or demand that ghosts makes its presence, most ghosts tend to just let you be. We do that all the time, right?
can you imagine though? Like, imagine if like you're a ghost in one of these like well-known haunted locations, and it's like, now you have the 50th person come through your room and like make yourself known. Like, I'm tired of you people.
Right?
Well, that's kind of the problem we ran into up in Montana when we were trying to find the dowsing rod, trying to find the lost bodies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eventually they get bored and like, I'm tired of answering your questions.
I'm gonna play with you now.
Yeah.
That's right.
I mean, just a minute ago, I was telling, Sarah, go ahead and come speak at the open mic. I'm sure she rolled her eyes and gave me the bird. She probably didn't. She was kind of religious. But that being said, you're just like,
Yeah, I don't want to talk to you.
if they don't want to, they're not going
They
to.
have their free agency just as much as we
And
do.
so, if you are doing a ghost investigation, you are trying to collect EVPs or communicate, please be polite and respectful. And there's the old saying: you get more flies with sugar or with honey than
With crap.
I don't know. Actually, maybe that's not. You get more flies with croup,
with croup.
with poop, crap and poop. It's
Croup.
But no, I mean that's the thing though. It's like these people were living once, right? And so if I walk into your house and I be a turd, you're probably going to ignore me and not want to talk to me. But if I'm very polite and nice, you're going to be more willing to communicate.
Or you start like tearing down walls and remodeling the place, and
Yeah,
it
that
makes
just
them
pisses
mad.
Well, yeah, that will definitely piss people off, right? Like you came into my house and took out this door. I'm going to be a pain in the butt.
But at the same time, maybe it's another thing to think about is maybe change up your questions. Everybody goes into these places and they all ask the same questions.
Same question.
Are you a male? Are you a female? Did you die here?
That's why you started asking them what their favorite.
I started
pizza
asking
topping
them
was.
if they liked pizza and if they like pepperoni or Hawaiian better. Does pineapple belong on a pizza?
Yeah.
Did you ever drive in a motor car? Did you like sports cars? Or are you a truck guy?
Yep.
You start talking about things that are different. They're like, that's a great question. I kind of like trucks. I don't know.
Get their interest.
But yeah, I mean, the thing is like there's this assumption that we're talking to people that died in the 1800s,
Right.
but you could be talking to someone that passed away 50 years ago or 20 years ago or even a month ago.
Day before yesterday.
Yeah, and so I mean, you kind of have to tailor some of your questions and your conversations to the time frame in which you're communicating with too. Because if you're like, hey, did you see the game last weekend? And they're like, I don't know what a TV is.
And that may be the case. But, if you think about all the spirits that have died since in our lifetimes, if you talk about what you know, you're going to be a better conversationalist than, I think it'd be refreshing for ghosts.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, here's somebody I can actually talk to. But that being said, ghosts, like I said, they will choose to haunt and to communicate. I say haunt and communicate kind of relatively the same thing. Whoever they want to.
Yeah.
You can't demand it. You can't ask for it. You can't.
And sometimes they just show up in your house randomly one night.
That too.
But don't ever invite them.
No.
Try not to.
Don't invite them to come home.
No.
Nope.
No, because the old saying that we have is that you don't know who you're inviting, and you may not be that little girl you thought you were inviting, and could be something way, way worse.
Yeah.
Nope.
What else you got, Josh?
That scientific technology can detect ghosts, which it's funny because we're all about the
I looked to my
technology
left here
toys.
to Josh's wall of technology.
Yeah, I know, right? And it's true. Like none of that stuff will tell you that there's a ghost there, right? It's not going to say there's a ghost right here and this is what it is. It's tools that we use to communicate to help prove that there is
Something there.
that there's something there. But there's no ghost detector.
But
right?
you can't prove that that's a ghost, even that's setting it off.
No.
We think it is.
It
and
seems to
we-
be answering
It
intelligently.
seems to be answering, but we don't know for sure.
No.
You can't prove it.
Nope. No, you can't. I would love it if we could. But there's nothing that's going to show it that we can.
In fact, I think I would wager the only way that you can prove to somebody that a ghost exists is if they experience something themselves.
Yep.
And that's where they're going to buy your stories.
Yeah. They have to have that personal experience. And that's a lot of people. A lot of skeptics will have that moment that from when they, stopped being a skeptic and became a believer because something unexplained happened to them.
What have you got left on yours?
You have to be a believer in order to have a paranormal experience, which I think we just kind of covered, that you don't have to. That if a spirit chooses to talk to you and communicate with you, whether or not you're a believer, it's not going to matter. Now, whether or not you believe it was a paranormal experience is a different avenue. And that depends on where you are in the spectrum scale. So there are those people who are such closed-minded skeptics that a ghost could come up, say, "Hi, I'm a ghost," shake their hand, and disappear right in front of their face, and they'll be like, "Yeah, that was a bad meatball, and that was nothing." So, but yeah, you don't have to be a believer
No.
to have something happen to you.
No, it does help. You're more quickly to identify it as.
Paranormal.
But then again, maybe that's a bad thing. You just jump to conclusions. It's a ghost. It's like it's your air conditioner.
Well, and that's when you get to the far end of closed-minded. Well, not necessarily closed-minded believer, but you can move that open-minded skeptic further and further to the closed-minded side of things. So, and some of us just want stuff to happen, right? It's like I want a paranormal experience so bad
That you will it to happen.
that you will it, even though it's not.
Well, that's where you start. Where pareidolia comes in. You see things that aren't there because you just really want it so bad.
Well,
Right.
yeah, and your mind tries to make sense of it. So
Yeah, and there's audio pareidolia too,
yes, there is.
where you think you hear something that's not there.
Yep.
So, and that can happen if you listen to a lot of white noise. You can start hearing things in the white noise,
Mhm.
which, again, you got an SG7 spirit box that
hate
does
those
that.
things.
I think we've only used ours like maybe 3 or 4 times, and we haven't touched it since.
Yeah, it's been since Fort Douglas.
Yeah, it drives me
a
crazy.
while
Just an
ago.
unpleasant noise.
Yeah,
It
drives
really
me
is.
crazy.
Yeah, it really, really is annoying. What do you got, Mike?
How about a real ghost can't or won't hurt you? Ghosts can't or won't hurt you. If a real ghost can't hurt you, then why do some paranormal investigators go crazy? Or there people get pushed down the flights of stairs. Ghosts can physically and mentally hurt you. They can hurt you for life. You can be scarred for life.
Well, and are we talking? So, if we're talking ghosts, we're talking all 1s through 3s, or are we talking specifically 1s and 2s, or just 1?
I could say 1 through 3. You could factor all 1 through 3 in that.
Well,
I
most
think,
definitely.
I think even type 1s can. I mean, they're probably not going to. Typically, our type 1s, if you remember our scales, are usually pretty
benign.
They're
It's
not
like grandma.
scary. Yeah, they're not typically scary, but they could
They could.
cause you problems. I mean, how many times do we talk to people and they're like, there's all this stuff going on in my house and it's scaring my children and they can't sleep and
Right.
it's grandma.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between at least the way I hear that, the difference I hear is not harm as in psychological harm because of fear, like the fear of the unknown, right? But more so like I'm going to punch you or pinch you or take that knife out of the board and stab you. Now, that is something I've never heard of.
Right.
I've heard of objects being thrown, but I've never heard of like knives and cutlery being chucked at people.
No, but they can do other things. I mean, how many people, have been strangled by unseen hands? You
Yeah.
know, when they're investigating a serial kill. I don't know.
Held down.
Held down. People have been pushed and
Scratched and
have spirits run through them,
bite marks.
like charge them.
I mean, weird stuff that you just cannot explain, but it does hurt you.
Yeah. And I think it tends mainly to be type 3s and type 2s.
Yeah.
The butthole spirits of the spirit realm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good band name, the Butthole Spirits.
Butthole spirits.
Oh, yeah. But no, that's the exact reason why when we go to a location and we do our investigations, we always finish with a prayer.
Yep.
And we tell them they're not welcome to follow us home. And sometimes if it's dark enough, we'll even smudge ourselves before we leave just to try to leave it there because they can follow you home. They can hurt you.
Yeah, we've smudged ourselves and we've smudged our vehicles before we left places
Yeah.
before.
Yeah. And definitely prayers for sure. And that's a precaution, right? To keep them where they are. Cause, when you've had a long conversation with somebody over the course of, 4, 5, 6, 12 hours, they kind of like you, they want to come home with you. And it's like, no, you have to stay.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you coming home, and that's where obviously asking them to come home is a definite no. The one I have is, I think it's part myth and part true.
Okay.
Ghost hunting is dangerous.
Yep.
I think it's both, right?
It's both.
For the most part, it's not dangerous to the way you think of like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get killed tonight.
No.
A lot of it's sitting in the dark.
The danger comes from you're walking in old buildings and you don't know how creaky or how bad the floors are. Your foot could fall through an old wood board and it's tripping over stuff in the dark. It's
Falling downstairs.
It's, that's more of the danger that comes into it.
Or saying, scratch me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Pulling a Baggins.
that's why we say, what is the number one paranormal item that you should have on any investigation is
A flashlight.
a flashlight.
Yourself.
Because you don't want to get hurt in the dark.
No.
And the prison's a good place for that. If you go up on the catwalk up in the second, third, and fourth floors, you notice that, yes, there's a guardrail, but no, that guardrail is not right up against the concrete. It's
No.
actually 6, 8+ inches wide, away from the concrete. And that's going to hurt.
That's a broken ankle.
A broken ankle or
Broken
worse.
leg, yeah.
Because, the guardrail is only, mid thigh high for,
Yeah, you could totally go over the top of that.
Oh, yeah,
and
I'm
get
going.
down. Yeah.
It's going to hurt.
Mhm.
Then you can haunt the prison.
Yes.
And you're stuck there. You
And
can't
you're-
leave.
Oh,
And
jeez.
you're stuck there.
Oh, man, I'd be, fresh meat right there. Jeez.
How many more do you want to do?
Where are we at?
We're about an hour, I think. So
Let's do a
far.
couple more.
Big one I want to talk about is orbs. Light
Oh.
anomalies.
Oh, no.
Okay?
Tracers. They're tracers. They're not
So-
orbs.
Everything that you see in your Ring camera, your night vision cameras, your child's room, anything that you see that like a light thing that moves across is not necessarily a ghost
They're not
or an orb.
all orbs.
No.
A lot of dust.
I'm not denying I have seen some legit orbs.
I think we've all seen legit, unexplainable light anomalies,
Yeah,
orbs.
but a lot of people are just too quick to they take a picture and there's 5,000 dust particles floating around that the light's refracting off of, and they just think they got 5,000 spirits.
Right.
There's
that
just
one
a lot
room.
of dust in that room.
And I actually had that conversation with somebody, and I stopped the conversation because I'm like, I'm not going to be able to,
Yeah.
you're not going to listen to me. But they showed this foyer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And there's, I don't know, there's 20 or 30 dust particles that move throughout the video, the 30-second video. And they're like, it's haunted.
place is way haunted, man.
And I was like, that's dust. She's like, well, we just painted.
And
And
I
we-
just
and what?
dusted.
And it's
If you
dust.
just painted, that means you've sanded
Yeah.
and you've.
And granted, all that could have happened, right?
I
Yeah.
just vacuumed up all the dust.
But the thing is you have dust, you have pollen, you have dander,
All sorts of things.
all sorts of things.
all sorts of things that are floating in the air.
Yeah, and if you ever I remember doing this when I was a kid, sitting and watching the open window, the sun coming through the window.
You see everything floating in
There's
there.
there's all this stuff
Yeah.
floating in there, and
Yeah.
that's what's in the air. And so your IR cameras are going to pick that stuff up.
Well, see, that's why we always say to take more than just one picture.
Right.
Always.
But and dust particles can move pretty quick too, depending on the airflow. And so
one thing to look at is
bugs, though.
One thing to look at is the line of
trajectory,
the way that it goes. I mean, because we have some pictures of our daughter when she was young that had some orbs and stuff in it, and we were suspicious. And there was one where there was like a ton of stuff in there.
Right.
And so we had a couple different mediums look at these pictures, and most of them confirmed that there was one spirit in each picture with her that was consistent. And then there was one picture that had like a ton of orbs. And one spirit was like, oh my gosh, she opened something there. And then another medium was like, oh no, that's just dust.
Right.
And then another medium was like, oh no, that's just dust. So,
right. It's like, which ones do I believe
But
now?
then another medium was like, oh my gosh, look at all those spirits. So it's like, which medium do I believe?
Right. And yeah, and that's the challenge, right?
Yeah. I mean, because it's in Sixth Sense.
Right.
In the movie Sixth Sense, and they're showing the pictures of the little boy growing up. There's always that orb in every single picture.
Right.
So I don't know.
Yeah, and that's
Orbs are hard. They're so hard.
well,
They are hard.
in the scientific sense of things, right? Orbs are just energy.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And so does that mean it's spirit energy? Maybe. Could just be energy in the room too, right? We have a lot of electronic devices and other things that are, buzzing around. So it could be that. And so which one is it? Don't know. What is your belief in context, right? Because we caught a light anomaly at Lava Hot Springs outside. We were outside on the pool deck, on one of the pool decks.
Yeah, it was 10 degrees out.
And we caught a light anomaly going into your rods.
Yeah, really fast.
Wow.
So it's really super cold. The trajectory was
It was
not
winter.
normal.
Yeah, it was winter.
And so it wasn't a bug. So what was it? Don't know.
We don't know.
But then that's why I just chalk it up to something you can't
Okay,
explain.
well, so just today, I was dusting my house, and I was making a comment like how we have our piano on one side of our house, and on the other side of the house, we have like our entertainment center and all of our electronics. And Mike doesn't. And I actually asked Mike today. I said, "Do you feel like the piano is never as dusty as the entertainment center?" And he's
That's
like,
absolutely true.
"Oh,
Yeah.
and he's like, well, because you have all this electronic stuff that has a static charge that collects it and pulls it toward it."
Right.
Versus the piano that's just saying, I mean, the piano's dusty, but not nearly as dusty as my DVD player and my entertainment
You
center.
could also
is.
point this out too. It's also our entertainment center's black glass.
Yeah, it's black glass that shows
So
more.
it'll show
it
And
much
it's
more.
also more foot traffic. You're walking up in front of it and kicking up more
And it's
dust.
by the
it.
door.
And it's by the door.
Yeah.
And so you've also got that kind of aspect of it too, of like where you're taking these pictures, if it's a high traffic area or not a high traffic
Right.
area, what's going to be kicked up in the area.
Right.
There's a lot of factors.
And that's why, like, when I talk to anybody about orbs and those things, right? The first question I have is, well, why do you think it's paranormal?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on in your house that you think that there's something paranormal here?
right.
Because
They saw Ghost Adventures and they saw the orb leave his body. He's like, could that be the spirit of John Wilkes Booth leaving my body?
Flying out your
Yeah.
ass. Yeah.
but that's, I mean, yeah, and that's the thing, right? It's like each of the shows out there even have different viewpoints when it comes to orbs. And some believe that it's fully, that they have the closed-minded believer aspect of it, and some people have a closed-minded skeptic view of it, and then there's the ones in between. So it's just this mix of what you believe in those things. I have seen light anomalies that make me believe that they are more spirit energy based,
Mm-hmm.
and I've seen ones that are clearly dust.
Yep.
And
If you're ever around me and you ever want to see what an orb looks like or what I believe is a legit orb, and the whole team that we were there,
Mhm.
Terry was there.
I was there for it.
It's very different than
I've
most
seen
things
We
you've
watched
seen.
it live being recorded
We watched it live
on the
on an
camera,
intelligent-
and you could see the intelligent orb moving. You actually hear the guy taking the video. Can you move toward me? And then you see the change of where the orb was headed. It changes direction and comes toward him. So it's an actual intelligent.
Right.
It was cool.
It was cool.
right, which then that relegates itself to something more paranormal based.
Right.
Right.
So what else you got, Mike?
I got lots more.
I got one here.
Okay,
Yeah, you
what
go.
you got, Terry?
Paranormal groups know and have dealt with every kind of haunting.
Yes, I have. I'm a bit of an expert.
That's because I am the world's most foremost connoisseur expert of the paranormal.
And I know how to take care of every single problem that you have.
You can be
Well,
really pompous and act like Shane and Ryan from BuzzFeed Supernatural.
Yeah, please don't
On
not
their
do
last
that.
season.
I'm the best ghost hunter around.
We're the best. Yeah, that was a joke.
No, but that's the thing. Like, there are no experts in this.
No,
field.
there's not.
There are definitely those who are more
Experienced.
experienced than everybody else, and who have
Right.
dealt with a lot of things.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, you're not going to come across everything that's there.
No.
And for as much as there's one demonologist lady that I sat we've sat in her
Her living room.
not her living
Her
room, thank
bathroom.
goodness. Her conference. We sat in her room for a conference. But she did make that point, though, is that spirits are different and that they have different methods of communication and getting rid of. And some things work for ones and some things don't work for others.
Yeah.
So, like, and that's the thing is, like, if you've come across every one of them, which is not possible because no one travels the globe doing this fully. Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
You were headed a direction, and
Derailed.
you completely changed
I did.
direction.
I did.
You saw me pulling stuff out of my backpack.
I just lost it. Just lost it.
So yeah, no two paranormal groups are going to be the same.
No.
You can, but I would, if you're going to find and seek out a paranormal group near you, I would encourage you to investigate them before you just agree or believe anything that they tell you or agree to let them do anything.
Well, you are letting
Ask
strangers into your house.
You are,
Yeah.
you are, but you don't just call up some random stranger and say, "Hey, can you come?" You know, you're going to ask around. Hey, have you done stuff like this before? Here's what's been going on. Have you dealt with something like this before? What do you do? What are your methods? What should I expect when you come? There should
Right.
be some investigating for, or even ask other groups in the area. Say, what do you think of this group?
Oh, that's a dangerous thing.
It is a dangerous
That is
thing, but at the
dangerous.
same time, there are groups that we would fully recommend,
Absolutely.
and there are groups that I would not recommend.
Yep.
That's true, and it a lot of it goes upon our interactions we've had with the individuals of the groups.
Because we know some people are just full of crap.
Some people are, unfortunately, which leads that's the challenge with the paranormal stuff, right? And I actually had a one on here that kind of leads into this is that you have to believe in everything in the paranormal. Like if you're part of the paranormal, you have to believe in all of it.
I love that one. That wasn't on my list. How did I not get that on there?
But it goes into that,
Oh
right?
my gosh.
Everyone's a little bit different. Everyone has their own different beliefs and things. And so, we're not all going to believe the same thing.
No.
No.
One person might believe they got a skinwalker or a Wendigo in their house.
Well, it's
But we may not always believe that that's actually a thing.
so here's a perfect example of that. I have a lot of friends and a lot of fellow investigators who will talk about past lives, right?
Right.
For me, I don't believe in past lives. I don't think that I was, as one medium told me, that I was a accountant for the mob and that my wife was a rich heiress and that's how we met in another life. I don't buy that for a second. Okay? Sorry, I just don't. I don't believe that everybody, because nobody was ever Ivan the Crap, shoveler. I mean, everybody was always somebody famous.
Well, yeah, and I think that's some of it, right? But there have been cases. Jamie had a story of one of the boy who died on the Titanic.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. His sister was telling the story about how her brother was always scared of the water and would just freak out around water.
See, I have a cousin like that where my aunt, who's the medium, claims that her daughter was a victim from Titanic because of her fear of water.
Yeah. Well, but and they asked the little boy, and he's like, they showed him like pictures. And so supposedly he was, one of the people down in the engine room down there. And he died when something fell on him and he got trapped and then he drowned. He went down with the ship. So
Yeah, and you've heard
And-
stories of where they like interviewed little boys and
Yeah.
they recognize pictures of people and they're like,
Mhm.
how
They can name 'em
They
and-
know their names and they know.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying I can explain all that,
Yeah.
but me personally, I don't believe in
It's-
past lives.
Right.
And that's what
Right.
I'm saying. The point I'm making is that you don't have to believe in everything.
No.
That's
Right.
right. Yeah.
Well, and then let's get into other parts of the paranormal too, right?
Mhm.
Aliens,
Right.
cryptids.
Yep.
Right.
All real.
So,
I saw it.
Bigfoot.
I saw it on TV.
It must be true.
but there again, right? It's like if you know, and I've met people at some ghost hunts and stuff like that that start talking aliens, and it's like, I don't know if I actually believe they exist. Do I know? No. Have I gone looking for them? No. So it's like, but it's like cool that you believe. I'm not going to tell you that you're crazy.
See, we're sitting at the same table. It's like I fully believe in aliens, but I don't think they're what everybody else claims
Yeah.
them to be.
Right.
I think
Like
they'd be
the
a
little
lot.
green men.
I think they'd be a lot more like you and I than you know.
That's because all ghosts are aliens.
But the thing, yeah, you go on a ghost hunt though, but you're just like, I'm not here to investigate aliens. I'm
Yeah.
here
Yeah.
to investigate ghosts.
Yeah. And then you get into cryptids like Bigfoot and Yeti and Mothman and
Jersey Devil.
Jersey Devil and all of that stuff, right? And so,
Some I believe in, maybe some. I
Right,
don't,
some.
but
but it's not a blanket thing, right?
no, and it doesn't have to be.
And we've even talked to a gal who didn't believe in demons.
Mhm.
Then demons don't exist; they're not real. It's like, okay, cool. Like we can have a conversation around those things because it's like we may believe and you don't, and that's even in the supernatural
That's where you
realm.
start
of the
asking, do you
paranormal.
believe in honest politicians?
They're all true. Come on, I've never been lied to
It's
by
like demons
by a
are more real
politician.
than honest politicians.
What?
But
I got,
no,
I got a bridge in Arizona if you want.
It
one.
is a that's what's fun about this is everybody's at different places and different stuff in their journey. At one point, I didn't believe that stones or crystals were anything more than
Pretty rocks.
pretty rocks, and I'm still not positive of exactly what there is to them. But I feel like now there's something to it. What it is,
Right. And
it's
some
enough that I have a whole collection of them in a crystal grid on my house.
right. And
It
some
seems to work.
and some people believe that they'll cure everything.
Yeah, I'm not grinding up stuff and putting it and drinking it in a tea.
No. No.
I see
But-
that in the books all the time.
Oh, really?
But-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you mix
Oh,
these in
no.
your tea and drink it, and it'll
Not a good idea.
Little,
solve your kidney stones. Like it'll give you a
No.
stone,
You're
Yeah.
drinking stone.
right?
But yeah, I mean, that's a fair one. Like stones are another good thing because some people believe that stones aren't anything, that they don't do anything, right? But I can tell you that I've held certain stones and have gotten certain feelings off of them without knowing what they are.
Oh, absolutely.
And so is that just me and a placebo effect? It's possible.
Could be.
It could be psychosomatic,
Just like everything else we do.
right? and there you go. You're like, well,
Every hair on my body just stood up. Did a ghost walk through me? Maybe,
or did I just freak my own self out?
maybe.
Yeah.
That's why we keep doing it, because we're trying to
Understand.
understand
Yeah.
and to keep replicating those experiences and
Yeah.
to
To build
keep my
on
left
them.
hand out here just going around and around and around and around, flapping like a little bird as I talk. All right, have we beat this to death?
I think we've
There's
gotten
more,
pretty good.
but I think we probably.
I think that's a
probably
good
have
place to end.
That's a
There's
good
not
one.
much everything else on the list we've pretty much already covered in one way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the thing is I really hope that this has helped shed some light on these myths and help give some some clarity to some of them. Whether you believe in all of it or none of it,
it's the joy. You don't have to.
no, you don't have to. But it's always good to talk about these things because hopefully, for some people who have been scared or terrified of certain things that are going on, it just gives you some clarity and some understanding that it doesn't always have to be so scary.
Learning and growing. The more you know.
That's right.
PBS.
Knowing is
Rainbow.
half the battle.
Rainbows. Yes, G.I. Joe.
That's right.
Knowing is half the battle.
G.I. Joe.
We're telling
So-
our age.
Right.
I was going to come out
We're
about the
so
other half of
old.
the battle is just accepting that you're wrong. That's looking at my wife. But if you can come to terms with that, then you're set. All right, kids. Well, we've talked about this enough. If you have questions, by all means, feel free
If
to
there's
reach
any
out to
myths
us.
that you've heard that you'd
Oh,
like
yeah.
to know our thoughts on, let us know.
If we missed
Absolutely.
one or two or 10, or if you want us to talk about something, let us know. You can reach us on the Book of Faces. What's our Facebook group there, Josh?
It's at the Necronomicon. Oh, wait.
What?
Whoa.
Sorry. Paranormal Peeps podcast, or Cold Spot Paranormal Research.
Or we're also on the Instagram.
Cold spot _paranormal _research.
And then lastly, we are apparently on Twitter.
Twitter.
That's right, at CPR Paranormal.
And none of that all flows through all these different names. That's okay.
Yep.
That's right. We're around. You can find us on whatever social media platform you have, except for some of the new ones like Getter and some of the other stuff.
Like what? Getter?
Yeah, there's-
Never even heard of that.
that's a new one.
Apparently.
Is that like Tinder? But that
No,
sounds like a creeper site.
We can go. Are we gonna go on Grinder now?
Getter. We got Tinder.
Getter
Swipe
sounds like a social media network for serial killers.
We go
Is it really called
Snapchat.
Getter?
Yeah, there's one. Yeah, it's a new one.
Like Get Her or like
No, it's GETTR. Getter.
I don't know. It still sounds the same.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's lots of little social media groups out there. We're not even on TikTok
It's,
either.
it's like
so.
it's like Horrible Bosses too when they named their company after Nick, Kurt, and Dale. Nick, Kurt, Dale, but you say it faster and it just sounds racist and inappropriate.
Or you can just combine them all.
Getter is
you
not a-
tweet face.
You
Getter-
twit face.
Getter's not a good one. We're
Wait,
not on.
We're not on that one.
We are on YouTube.
We should start
face
making.
gram.
We should start making reels so we could be on TikTok.
We could do that. well, that
I
could
am
be
not-
fun.
I ain't
Sorry.
got time for that. Never
No.
mind.
No, we ain't got time for that.
We can do reels on Instagram.
I
It's fine.
rescind that idea.
In fact, we have done reels on Instagram.
Yes, we have, and Facebook, and
I barely know how
Yeah,
to
we've been around.
open Instagram. All right. Well, you all have a great night. Come back and see us again next time.
stay ghosty, my peeps. Thank you for listening to the Paranormal Peeps podcast. You can find us on social media at Twitter at CPR Paranormal, on Facebook at Paranormal Peeps Podcast and Cold Spot Paranormal Research. And you can find us on Instagram at coldspot_paranormal_research.